Okay, our first question tonight is somebody asked if others have a reoccurring nightmare about events. And this is something that was interesting to see some of the responses. And I wanted to kind of get your guys' feel if this is something you have had, if there's something that is not just a one-time thing, but you've had this nightmare, literally while you're sleeping nightmare, not just oh no, I've always worried about that, but when you're out sleeping and you have this, and it's happened more than once. So either of you have something like that?
Yes.
And what is it?
I have two. So I have one that's not so much at night nightmare, but it's the weekend that I have when it's like a rare weekend off, right? Like I've done a bunch of them in a row, or I've had a bunch of events back to back, and then suddenly I have a weekend where there's nothing. And like the week leading into it, and that weekend, I'm like, I'm forgetting something. I have an event. So did I, like it was on the books, and somehow I'm missing on my sheet. Like it's not on my calendar. Like that freaked me out. But then I have another one that's actually, this has woken me up a bunch of times at night. And I imagine that I'm at a venue. It's a venue that I have nothing of those moments where all eyes are on me. Like when there's a request, that's one thing. But when it's the special music and you don't have that, like I've woken up at night, like cold sweat, not going back to bed type of nightmare.
I can't say I've had that one. Cubbie, what have you had?
I've had the feeling lost, like I needed to be somewhere once on those off weekends, like you said. Like I feel like I need to be somewhere. I've had those. Not that particular one, Dan, where I didn't have the music, but something just like mostly for me, it's technical things going wrong, like a microphone going out, or just nobody. And of course, everybody has the one that nobody's dancing, But I've had those too. Those nightmares. I think if you have a give a shit factor, you gotta have nightmares. But if you don't care, you're not going to be worried about it anyway. So I think people that are having nightmares have nightmares or have huge give a shit factors, and they don't want anything to go wrong, and so that's why they're kind of worrying about it, just even subconsciously.
But the big one I have had is not music or any. It's the one where I know I have a trip, a distance to go to get there, and it's like, okay, so I need to get there, and I need to set up, and I need to do this, and then something happens. Whether I'm, I start putzing at something at home, but there's always something that I'm doing, and then I start working It's like I'll never be able to get there in time. I'll never be able to get there in time to get things started. I can't. I can leave, and I'm supposed to be playing in 5 minutes. What happened? There was, one time I had to go and pick up my shoes because my shoes were being cleaned. What? That was one of the times it was. I had to go pick up a CD player, and this was like a year ago. I had to go pick up a CD player, and I went to the store, and it was like, and then I knew I just could never make it. But it's always that idea that I can't get there on time, even if I give myself. So, that might be one of the reasons why, okay, so I'm supposed to start at 3:00. I want to be ready to go by 2:00. I need to be setting up. I got to get there at 12:30. And then I leave the night before almost, that time. Sometimes, or at least it feels like that. But I was wondering, have you ever talked to anyone else? I mean, obviously, I think it's fairly common, but has anyone else ever really shared about that in your discussions when you've?
Yeah, my daughter does. Go ahead, Dan. I'm sorry.
No, go. You got it. Go.
My daughter talked about it just the other day. It's like, Dad, I just feel like I just had this nightmare. Like nothing went right, at all. And she had the wrong notes for the wrong event. Just kind of like things like she could pull it back up on her iPad, but we're so there's things going through it. But yeah, she said she had the same nightmares or some nightmares as me as well.
Yeah,
I've had some friends that have reached out and kind of that idea of forgetting something like the add-ons, right? So they have uplighting planned to be sold, and they wake up in the middle of the night because they're like, oh my gosh, like they thought like in their brain they were at the wedding and didn't have the uplighting, like didn't have whatever this add-on that was totally gonna make or break whatever was happening. But yeah, just kind of that same idea of just like, oh my gosh, like I'm forgetting something that I need to have.
That one, the question you put in there, I'll get to that one. So just to let you know that I got that, and I will add that, and we will get to that tonight. Yeah, that the idea of having that one usually doesn't hit me at night. I've had that moment of that feeling. Generally, where that has hit me is like you're eating lunch, the day before or something, and you're just kind of calm and everything, and all of a sudden you just get that anxiety hit or that right in the chest, and it's like the stress is like, oh, did I forget do I have? Where's the contract? I need to go log into DJ Event Planner. I gotta find out if I'm forgetting something. Yeah, that one gets to be kind of a anxiety driven area there for sure. Yes, so we all have some sort of nightmares when it comes to this stuff. Our subconscious works on us during the day and at night when you're doing this stuff. But I think, as Cubbie said, a lot of it is if you've got that, give a shit factor, you're going to be kind of fretting the details, because that's kind of what they pay us to do, is to fret the details. So hopefully they don't have to. So yeah, get a t-shirt made that says, give a shit factor, 100.
100.
100, man. We got it. We got you there. So, all right, let's jump to our next question tonight.